Hi, welcome to Better Music. We're very fortunate today to have Hozen from Maestro Guitars with us. And Hozen's going to be giving a Knowing the Guitar seminar today, and I'd taken this opportunity to pull him aside and have a quick chat in private about a few things that's going on with Maestro Guitars and with some new ideas that Hozen has coming out. So it's really awesome to have you in store today, man.
Pleasure.
Yeah, it's great. We're really looking forward to this. We've got a lot of people coming tonight, and we're going to put the thinking caps on and get the notepads out and do a lot of learning. And so thanks for being here. I wanted to ask you a couple of questions. I mean, this isn't a new idea, but it's something that you don't see that often, and that's this sound port here.
Yeah.
And just about all of your instruments have the sound port, and also the bevel here, the comfort bevel. And I just wanted to ask, how much more difficult is it to put this into an instrument, and what benefits do you see that these features have on your instruments as opposed to some of your competitors?
Okay, overall, I think for me, I want to build instruments that players will be able to play comfortably.
Yep.
So the sound port is actually for the player. It's not really so much for the audience.
Yep.
You know, there's a little port, a monitor port that you can hear yourself playing.
So yeah, like a monitor.
Yeah, it's a monitor. So you hear yourself playing, and then let's say you're playing with a band on stage.
Yep.
Most of the time you can't hear what you're playing.
Yeah.
And especially if you're playing acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
So that's what the sound port's for.
Yeah. Okay.
And the bevel armrest is more of an ergonomic thing. You are resting on it rather than resting on the soundboard.
Yeah.
You know,
right. Yeah.
You know, when you're resting on the bevel, you know, first of all, it's comfort edge. It's rounded. You know, you don't get tired after playing for a long time.
Yeah.
And then you're not hindering the soundboard from.
Yeah, that's
from
actually
vibrating.
a really good point, because your arm does end up on a different angle. You're not like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
That's a really great insight. And how much more difficult is it to put these features on an instrument?
I think if you're going to do this, it will be like 3 times slower than to build a regular instrument.
Right.
And even for the sound port, I mean, you don't just take a router and just put it
dig a
in
hole
and,
no, I can
and dig
see
a hole.
that. I can see how really smooth and accurately done that is.
We have to reinforce the sides with a piece of wood before we do that.
Right.
You know, it's just like any professional guy that's going to install a pickup.
Yep.
You know, if you're going to put a big cavity here, you got to reinforce it, because every single hole is a weakness on the instrument. So you got to reinforce it to prevent it from cracking.
Right.
So if you just take a router bit and plug it in here, what will happen?
Yeah.
It will split the sides. You know, you don't want that to happen.
Yeah, of course not. We're very excited about your product, man. Honestly, it's very easy to be jaded having been in the industry so long, but something like these instruments come along once in a while, and they're very surprising, you know. And the product is fabulous. The presentation is immaculate, and they just sound amazing, and they have their own voice. They don't sound like any of the other brands, you know. And I think that is an awesome thing, because a lot of people are looking for something new. They don't necessarily want XYZ product that's been around for a long time, even though a lot of those products are awesome. But this range that you've presented for us is exciting. It's unique, and it's beautiful.
Thank you.
And we're really, really pleased to have it on our shelf. So that's awesome. I love these features, and these are features that that on some of your competitors cost a lot of money.
Yeah. They do.
And like you said, it takes 3 times as long to put them on an instrument, but your instruments don't cost 3 times as much.
No, they don't.
They don't. and having said that, you're also using incredible timber. Like, this is solid Swiss Alpine spruce.
Yes, they are.
This isn't cheap stuff. This is the real deal. You've got
Malaysian
blackwood back and sides, all solid. You know, these are real quality instruments, and they scream quality in every aspect. The necks are really good. I mean, how do you get the action so good? That's a good question.
Yeah,
all of your guitars, the actions are really awesome.
We have the plaque machine.
I use a plaque, right?
In Singapore, so all the instruments are plaqued before they're shipped out.
Right.
So when they're plugged, we can adjust. You know, we can really grind the setup to be really precise.
Yeah.
You know, it basically is buzz free to a point.
Yeah.
And we can, because of that, because of the fingerboard is perfectly level, as well as the fret crowns are perfectly level, you get insane playability.
Oh, the playability is insane, actually. That's one of the things about the Maestro guitars. The necks are incredible, and the playability and action is so low and fast. It's really good. So yeah, that's great. I wanted to chat to you also about this new guitar. You've somehow managed to marry the old with the new.
Yep.
So you've got an OM style guitar, but it's got a maestro-ness about it. How did you do this?
Well,
it's really light, really responsive, and really beautiful.
This is our new traditional series.
Yep.
And we launched it because people, after a while, we realized that people was telling us, "Oh, look, that's a hole on the instrument. You know, it's not a real instrument. That's a bevel armrest. It's not a real instrument."
Right.
You see, there's a lot of traditional people in the market, and they want to see something that they can relate to.
Yeah.
So to them, the traditional built instruments looks like a guitar.
Yeah.
So their vision is, I want the guitar to be like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
You know,
Okay.
it has to look like guitar to me.
Yeah.
So that's where the traditional series came in the picture. We want to gain people's acceptance
Yeah.
as a new brand.
Yeah. Okay.
And so we marry two important elements, traditional and contemporary. Because Maestro, I build instruments more of a new age style. I'm more of a contemporary builder rather than a traditional vintage builder.
Mm-hmm.
So I take inspirations from the Larsen brothers.
Right. Okay.
So if you look at the inlays, and if you look at the way how we actually appoint the instruments with the binding, the purflings, and even the bridge, it's not pyramid, it's flat. That is really a very Larsen thing to
a
do.
Larsen idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Larsen brothers, they came before Martin.
Right.
So they are the real vintage in that sense.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's okay. Interesting information. So the other thing you were telling me that you don't use torrefied timbers, and you use all naturally dried timbers.
Yes.
And that's an important thing. That's a marriage of true tradition with some modern building styles.
We still stick to the guns when it comes to building. You know,
Yep.
we use traditional hot height glue when it comes to the construction.
Yep.
So that's really critical. You know, we don't even just use it for traditional instruments. We use it for all our instruments.
Yeah.
Basically, all the private collection as well as the original series, we use hot height glue because I personally feel that's critical for tone, and I'm a tone freak.
Yeah.
You know, I want my guitars to inspire people.
Yeah.
You know, in that sense, you know, like what you say, you have been in this industry for 30 years.
Yeah.
You know, few people actually come across, or few guitars that you come across that inspire you to keep going. You know, guitars is not a new thing.
Yeah.
You know, for me, I just want to do something that inspires people.
Yeah. Well, I think you're doing a great job, man, and this is a lovely guitar. It's very easy to be inspired when you've got a guitar like that, you know, that sounds as good as that. Yeah. No, that's awesome, man. Well, I'm really looking forward to tonight. I'm sure we're going to glean lots of, secrets on tone and how you go about doing things. But thanks for your time this morning.
I'm looking forward to sharing some information as well with
Yep.
regards how we actually build the instruments, the process. You know, it's building instruments not really just giving you the final instrument. It's really a lot about how you do it. You know, the commitment, the passion that goes into the construction. That's something which I want to share with people.
Well, I think that's really evident, man. Honestly, I do. Yeah. Thanks very
Thank you.
much. Yeah. Cheers.